Welcome back to Boss Talk 43 Reacts, the place that's going to give you all the dopest content about off-grid living. So I'm going to show you guys a couple of videos that might kind of influence you guys to want to join us and do the same thing. Or if you enjoy this kind of content, just understand this is the place to get it. Okay, so in the middle of these videos, I'm going to be attempting to start a fire with bamboo. So I'm going to show you guys the whole process from me cutting it down, prepping it, till the final result, getting the fire started if I can. So I want you guys to follow me, subscribe to this channel, but also follow me through this whole process and to the end and see if I get this fire started. So I want to thank you guys for joining me, and I'll see you guys in a little bit, all right?
So you want to know how I lived off-grid for the last 2 years without a job and without any money? First part of my plan was to provide myself with food. So just imagine living in a lush, abundant, edible forest. Yes, I live in a food forest. That's my tiny cabin that we built from the wood using trees from the land. There are hundreds of fruit trees on the land. Hey, this is one of like, I don't know how much apple tree there are. Watch it. No, sir. I'm making apple wine for sure. Migrating from the City of Lights, we had to adjust to having no electricity. We forage our medicine and our food from the earth. Here are some beautiful mushrooms we found. From a one-eyed bandit in the hills. I wrote this rhyme for you. With over 200 plantain and banana trees, we ate them constantly. That's the plantain on the one-armed bandit. It's twice the size. So what's happening right now?
I'm peeling a plantain.
AKA, that one don't look right, you know, for that to be a banana. No, this is what we have. Fine, beautiful, bright, red, shiny peas, red peas. You gotta take them off one at a time, or you gotta take off the bunch?
The bunch.
What is happening, sir? Either way, we can't carry up all of them bananas. Look how
do
far we have to go. Alright, we eating straight bananas. Banana, na, 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 na. Yeah.
The banana. I like
Banana,
banana.
na, na, na.
From the tree.
The best way. I'm grateful to have had a mentor who guided me, and he is the primary person who planted all these trees over 40 years ago, and that I now get to reap the benefits of. So every time I'd be presented with foods, and I would just eat as they were in season as I learned how to grow my own. I even got a rooster and chickens. Delicious.
Follow for part 2, transportation.
Gangsta.
Right there.
All right, let's head back to the truck. All right, we're getting back at the truck, and this water is 10 times nastier than the last water that we did in this period bag. And it's period bag, not period bag, because everybody's like, oh, you saying period bag. All right, so we're gonna put the P&G purifiers in there. Cut this open.
Subscribe.
We're gonna add this packet to our contaminated water. We're gonna take our little purple clip, fold this over, gonna slide it across, that's gonna lock it in. And now it's recommended you gotta shake this for 5 minutes. I'm not gonna bore y'all with that, so I'll be back. And y'all can already see it's already doing this thing. We gotta hang this for 30 minutes. So I got the sample. Let's go look at it under a microscope. Right off the bat, we got this first guy flexing for the camera. Y'all rate his flex 1 through 10 down in the comments. But I don't know the name of these organisms. So if anybody know the name of any one of these organisms in these slides, I numbered the slides. So if you know the name of them, drop them down below in the comments. I wish I could have got a better picture of this one, but I'm a newbie on the microscope. Did you know 85% of people can curl their tongue into a tube? Yeah, if you're trying to curl that tongue, go ahead and drop a like on this video and comment, you got me. All right, it's been 30 minutes, and as you can see, it has pulled all that muck down to the bottom. So now what we gotta do is, we're gonna twist this up without disturbing all this down here. So we're gonna take a clamp and clamp this right here. We're gonna empty this muck out. Let's remove this. Oh man. I don't think I boo-booed on my truck. And this actually is a filter behind here. Now, we went from this to this. Look at that. All right, so about to go put this under the microscope now. Not only did it remove all the dirt and debris, it killed all the microorganisms. If you're still skeptical, you can always boil it or use a life straw. It's a no-brainer. Everyone should have the Puree bag as a part of their emergency survival kit. Ain't nothing else left to say. The link right there. Go get it.
That's what y'all do too? And y'all use subscribe.
Too many people don't know how to build a fire properly, and if you're one of them, here's a quick tip for you. If the ground's a bit damp like it is here, lay down a few pieces of firewood to make a platform to start your fire on. That'll help it a lot so it's not absorbing moisture from the ground when it's trying to start up. Instead of relying on a bunch of lighter fluid to light this larger fuel, just bring a small hatchet every time you go camping and process some of it smaller. I can process it right on this platform, starting with the axe right here. I can give it a couple taps to seat the axe, and then I can move my hand out of the way and split it through. You can also set your piece of firewood on the platform like this with the axe against it to chop it in a way where the axe can't slip. For any large pieces, you'll probably have to swing overhead. All this smaller firewood is your fuel. Now we need to split some finer to make kindling. For that, you'll take your knife. This is the Sage Smoke Survival Bushcraft knife. I'll have them available on my website soon, so check in for that. Place it on top, take another piece of firewood, and hammer it through. Once it's mostly through, you can give it a twist, and it'll pop apart like that. For kindling, you want some of it as narrow as your pinky, then a handful of pieces thinner than a pencil. Once you split it one way, you can put it back together and split both at once the other way. Split them long, snap them short. That should be all the kindling we need. Move all your kindling off to the side and have it sorted a little from smallest to largest. I can grab a few of the really thin pieces from right over here. These will help me get it started. All I'm doing is stacking a little lean-to right here with some of my thinnest pieces. There's hundreds of different ways you can do your fire lay. This is just one way that's easy for beginners. Have some good space between them because fire needs lots of air, especially when it's very small. Then I'll just use my knife to make some shavings here. If you know how to make a feather stick, you could also do that. I want this to be easy enough for any beginner to do. Put all those curls right on top. Now at this point you can use a lighter or a match right here, and this will go up like a mini campfire. I'm instead going to use this fire starter necklace I have. Make sure it's only the smallest kindling over that flame right now. Once the kindling gets going, you can add some larger. As that starts to burn as well, go to your larger fuels. At this point, I'll crisscross them when I put them on. Kind of a log cabin variation. And that gets a very efficient burn that produces a lot of heat. I'm good to just build a small log cabin. Throw a couple big pieces on there, space between them like that, and that'll burn for a good while.
Good, thank you.
Let's harvest one of our meals during one of our cozy weekend retreat. Let's go. Today's lunch is going to be ampisi, which consists in a starchy food and a yummy stew. We're going to make it with what's available in the land, which is going to be contumely leaves and green bananas. Did you know that bananas, just like plantain, is not a tree but is an actual plant? I planted one only stem 2 years ago, and look how many of them are right now. So yeah, if you didn't know, banana is an actual grass and is the biggest grass on planet Earth. The stem is also a next level material, but as for now, we're gonna give it back to the Holy Land. And a whole life celebration in the name of sharing, in the name of this earth, in the name of this wealth. And let's remember that this planet still has enough for humans' needs, but not for humans' greed. Let's reconnect to Earth, one step at a time. So far it's been another day, it's been another blessing.
How much I spend every month to live off grid. The biggest expense is definitely building supplies. I spend roughly $300 a month on lumber and supplies to finish constructing the house itself. I spend $150 a year in taxes, $0 a month on electricity as everything's run off solar. I drink a lot of coconut water. It's about $30 for 10 coconuts. Right now, 30 to 50% of my diet comes from the garden, and organic seeds are $3 per pack. I even have my own bees for harvesting honey. And you know that feeling you get when you're finally living your dream life? It's priceless.
And if you see, I found this piece of wood here as a base to begin my fire. So, and all this is stuff I learned off YouTube. So we'll just see if it works. And I'm trying to learn how to do stuff the correct way here, just in case, and just because I love doing stuff like this. I love shows like Survivor. I used to watch The Colony. Naked and Afraid, anything like that. That's right up my alley. So this is fun being out here in Ghana and starting to learn about stuff I've seen and wanted to try. Okay, guys. I done went and let the wifey take care of that finger. So now I'm back in the game. Just gotta wait till I get home and get some. I can wrap it up because I didn't bring nothing to wrap it up with. But we're gonna get this started anyway today. So let me go and go over here. I'm trying to get in front of here so I can see you guys, see what's being seen. Okay, so we're gonna start this off. See, I got my little flint bag here. The bag that I made, made right when y'all saw me when I went home to take a little break. I made that. That's my fire starter there. So let's see how we can get this going here. Give me 1 second.
I just learned from the masons looking at your dad's side. I don't know really. I'm still learning. So I don't know when my learning process will be finished, but I've learned enough to kind of have an idea of what I'm doing. Not to say that I'm a pro or anything like that, but I'm getting there. Decide where you want to go and just do it. Don't overthink it. Don't doubt yourself, because there's people like me doing this and I'm not Superman, so if I can do it, then anybody can, really. Anybody that's serious can do it. Freedom, ability, freedom of movement, ability to just do things that you're passionate about and try them. There's not as much as a financial barrier for everything. Well, for us anyway. I feel like for the locals, there's quite a lot of financial barriers, but coming from our position, we're very lucky to be able to do a lot of things that we weren't able to in the UK. Just do exactly what you plan on doing, because it ends up being all right in the end.
Okay guys, as you can see, I got the flint. That's gonna help me start the fire in here. Okay, so we got that all prepped up, and I'll be right back with the next step. And I'll explain something else. The reason I have the it's so high off the ground, because I was watching like TikTok, and they said like when it rained a lot yesterday, so the ground is wet. So this wood was dry. So that's kind of I guess it'll help the fire when it's dry, getting started on a dry surface. So I just wanted to explain why I had that piece of wood in there like that. Okay. Okay, now let's see what we get here. We're gonna start off with this flint. I think this is the right way, but like I said, I'm learning, and I'm gonna get really good at this at one point. But right now, this is my first time actually trying to do it this way, so. I guess if I find a lighter that works first, huh? Let's see what we got. I got another one here. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Actually, I think you're supposed to be holding that. Let's see. That's okay. You see, it's starting to burn. All right. You see, I got it going. See? See, I got that going. Now it's time to stack the smaller sticks on top. So let's see if we can get this going all right. Okay, I'm back, guys. See, that wasn't working. I was trying something, but I did this this way the other day, and it burnt for a little while, but the way I could set the sticks up is a little different here. So we're gonna do that here. We're gonna set the sticks up to see if I can get it to where they cross a little bit. Okay, like that. Like I said, this is my first real time trying to do it like this. I'm my first real time in Ghana trying to really perfect this here. But as you can see, my leak still's going on, but it's all good. All good in the hood.
Here's one of the easiest and cheapest ways to grow so much food you won't even know what to do with it. Me and a few friends started this garden last year as a community garden. This is a regenerative garden. That means it works with nature to grow better soil every year, which is the opposite of conventional agriculture, which requires massive inputs of synthetic fertilizers, insecticides, and herbicides in order to grow food. With this method, your food will be better than organic. You'll never need to buy fertilizer. So here it is. We use the Back to Eden method. Now, when we started out here, this garden was all pasture. So we had to tear out the sod, and next we laid a 3-inch layer of compost over the rows that we wanted to grow food in. Now, if you don't have compost, you can lay grass clippings or hay or straw instead. Lay it out in 6-inch layers instead, and it'll compress down and turn into compost for you. And if you use hay, you don't need to worry about the seeds sprouting and growing weeds everywhere, and I'll tell you why in a minute. So next, and most importantly, we brought in a huge mountain of wood chip mulch. We spread that mulch into a 6-inch layer across the entire garden, rows and walkways. And that's where all the magic is. It keeps weed seeds from growing because it smothers them as they sprout. And it shades the ground and holds tons of water, so we don't need to water nearly as much as a conventional garden. Nature hates bare soil and will cover it in weeds given the chance. So if you don't want a weedy garden, cover it in mulch. Over time, all this mulch has been slowly breaking down and releasing nutrients and creating this super microbially rich compost that's full of earthworm activity. Now the plants go crazy for this because the microbes in the compost work synergistically with the plants to create the nutrients the plants need as they need them. After mulching, we used a broad fork to break up the soil below, but if you're just making a small garden, all you gotta use is a pitchfork. You can use it in the exact same way. Now to plant seeds, since mulch is so good at suppressing seed growth, you have to make trenches in the mulch down to the soil level. And you can sow your seeds in the soil, and as they sprout up, you can bring in some of that mulch back around them so the weeds don't grow around them. And to grow potatoes and sunchokes, all you gotta do is make a trench in the mulch, lay down your tubers, and cover them up in a mound of mulch. This is our second year with this garden, and as you can see, it's producing tons of food. We can hardly keep up with how abundant it is. We have compost bins as well, where we compost grass, weeds, and kitchen scraps, and any produce that goes bad in the garden. We turn it into this rich, fluffy compost that we can then start seeds in the next year. That way, all the nutrients created in this garden cycle back through. Sometimes crops like these pumpkins, cantaloupes, and tomatoes pop up in the compost too. We tend to just let them grow because it just means more nutritious food for us. And this year we've noticed lots of frogs and toads moving into the garden. Nature's working with us to help take care of the pest load. One of the greatest things about this garden is it doesn't get overgrown with weeds if we can't make it out here for a couple of weeks. So if you want to grow tons of food with the least amount of work, try out this method. Thanks for watching, and follow to see how I preserve this food.
Okay, we're gonna light it again and see what we get here, okay? Now let's see if I got me something here. Now let's see. And these little leaves here, they tend to burn pretty, they're very flammable, but they burn, it's a very fast burn. So I'm just, like I said, I'm just sampling this stuff here, seeing what I could create here. So let's see. I can throw some of this all up in here too. Jam some of that up in there. Jam a little bit over here. To make sure that core is getting some high heat real fast. And then I'm gonna bring that sticks back. Okay, let's see what we get here. Okay. Looks like we got it, but I don't want it just to burn. I want it to stay on fire. That's my goal. To see how long I can keep one of these things going. So it's a little complicated, but hey, I'm gonna work this out here. Let's see.
I see too many people thinking that to break free of the system, they need to have 100 acres off-grid in the woods without a cell phone, no bank account, growing food, and carving their silverware from a log. But this really isn't the real picture. People make the mistake in thinking that creating a self-sufficient life is all or nothing. Instead, I want you to think of it as degrees of sustainability. It's a spectrum from 0 freedom to 100% freedom. It's about identifying where you're at and simply moving the needle a bit.
I had to readjust everything because the first little thing I had wasn't working too well. So I just kind of crumbled everything. And we're gonna see how this does. I put a little bit of cardboard I had in my bag. I got like little fire starter stuff in my bag. Let's see if we can get this started now. See how long we can get this burning for. So I'll be back, guys. I had to make some adjustments, but I think I got it. It probably won't burn for a long time. But I just want to see if I can get something going today. It took me a little longer. I had to take that big block of wood out because I think it was hindering everything from getting started. And as you can see, guys, it took a little while, and I'm gonna see how long it takes right now before it burns out. But hey, I got something started today, and we'll see how long it takes, and I'll try to make it go longer tomorrow. So hey, thank you guys for watching now. See, still going strong. It wasn't too bad, I guess, I thought, but you gotta just keep adjusting stuff and learning. Like, not bad for my first time. So I keep y'all in tune with these and see how much better I get with these, all right? All right, thank you, guys. Ooh, not so bad, huh? Subscribe. I actually thought it was gonna burn out, but now the big piece of wood I put in there is caught fire. Now, this is what I'm talking about, something that I could put on top of there. And you could kind of, if you want to cook something, you could cook something on that right now. You could maintain that and keep it going. So that's what I wanted to show you guys there, all right? Right now. Oh, that's nice. Nice.
Ten reasons why I live off-grid in Mexico in the jungle. Number 1, have you seen this place? Good answer. Number 2, have you seen the price of rent? Ridiculous. Number 3, have you smelled the cities recently? Number 4, have you heard the cities recently? Non-stop sounds. Horrible, horrible sounds, horrible smells, horrible prices. Number 5, people. People are probably the most likely way to have your day ruined. It's not the plants or animals that ruin your day, it's the people. That's 5 really good reasons. Let me think of some more. Oh yeah, of course. All natural. The color green, it soothes. You're not gonna get this in the city, guys. Number 7, I love animals. There's a lot of animals out here and really cool insects, and we can learn a lot from them. Number 8, privacy. I mean, look around. These are my neighbors. No one telling me to turn my music down. No one rubbernecking on my property telling me I can or can't do this or that. So, and last but not least, I think everyone needs to be self-sustainable. Learn to make your own electricity, learn to find your own food and water. You don't really need all these corporations and governments to protect you and provide for you. You don't really need those cities that they've built for you. There's literally an entire other life that you could be living. And I guarantee it's cheaper, healthier, and a safer place to raise children. I don't know how many more reasons you need to move off grid, but there's enough. So follow if you want to find out what I'm doing out here, because we're about to do some big stuff and you're all invited.
Subscribe.